ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Punjab vacation, they love your chanting, so why don't you do the dhyana slokas? Bhadram Karnevi and the other one.
Dhyana sloka. Oh. Bhadram Karnevi Shriyama Deva Bhadram Bhashyamanjabirjatra Dirairangai Susubhadum Satsarubi Veshemidam Yadayu Swastira Indro Vidyasrama Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Sarsho Arishtanevi Swastino Varastadir Dadadu Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
So we saw the fifth verse of the Karika last time. Remember this Upanishad, you always have to keep track of when we are doing the Upanishad verse, when we are doing the Karika verse. So now we are in the Karika. After having done 6 Upanishad verses, 7 Upanishad verses, we went into the Karika and we saw 5 Karika verses. Any questions, clarifications? 6 of the Upanishad verses we have seen, yeah, and 5 of the Karika.
Swamiji?
Yeah?
A clarification. So when I use the phrase a state of experience, does the experience also include the object outside, or is it limited to the thoughts in my mind?
Both. Because when you are saying a state of experience, there is no waking state of experience without the waking world of objects.
Okay.
So when you are calling it as a state of experience, it includes both.
Okay.
When you are saying only experience, then it is my subjective, whatever I think and feel. Another thing is, many books also calls it as states of consciousness. We prefer not to call it state of consciousness because our paradigm that consciousness is one. There can't be states in consciousness. But when consciousness is manifest, the manifested consciousness goes through some experiences. So it's better to call them states of experience rather than states of consciousness. That's one difference you will find again between Neo Vedanta and traditional Vedanta. No? Yeah. Neo Vedanta will always present it as states of consciousness. Then you will have to clarify their states of manifested consciousness, etc. All these clauses you will have to start bringing it in. Okay. Now, having said that much, the Karika touches upon what we call as a creation. Okay? It doesn't do anything elaborate here, that he will do later, but he touches upon that. Prabhavah sarva bhavanam saptamiti vinishchayah sarvam janayati pranaha Chetamshuna Purusha Pratak. Says all that has come forward are forms of existence. Remember, we are living in an existing universe, not a non-existing one. Therefore, everything will be experienced as something that is, as existing. Therefore, he says, everything that has come from existence alone. Then what about the conscious being? Conscious being also is from existence, because does the conscious being exist or doesn't exist? You, the conscious being, you exist, na? You are there. Therefore, you are also from existence. But he says, Sarvam janati pranans chetamshuna purusho pratak. Only thing is, in a conscious being, the consciousness also manifests. In an inert thing, only existence is manifest. In a conscious being, consciousness is also manifest along with, because of prana, etc. He says. Because of prana, etc. That's also okay. Sarvam janayati pranas chetom hunchana purusha pratak. Therefore, as prana, as the mind, prana here indicates the sukshma sharira. Therefore, because of the mind, etc., the consciousness also manifests. Therefore, different forms of existence. In that different forms of existence, some are conscious, some are not conscious. Some consciousness is manifest through the mind, in some it is not manifest. Okay, so that is just touching upon it. All right. Then he says, all right, with respect to the creation, there are a lot of opinions, he says. He just mentioned, he says, we don't have to bother about it. We just mention it to understand. Okay? Ichha matram prabhoho srishtihi iti srishto vinishchitaha. Those people who are caught up with the idea of creation and try to explain creation.
Swamiji, seventh Karika you missed out.
Oh, sorry, okay, sorry.
7.
Yeah. Okay. Vibhuti prasavam tvanyehe manyante srishti chintakaha sapna maya surupeti srishti anye vikalpitaha. Okay. Yeah. This is the introduction to the whole thing. Okay. Vibhuti prasava tvanyehe. Tvanyehe Manyantre Srishti Chintakaha. Srishti Chintakaha. Those who are caught up with the idea of creation. Why those who are caught up with the idea of creation? Is the Vedanta not caught up with the idea of creation?
Only manifestation.
Even manifestation, the Vedanta doesn't bother into looking at details of creation.
Yeah.
हाय नहीं है क्या फर्क पड़ा. There is some experience where you explain away your experience. Our focus is not on the creation. Our focus is on the reality behind the creation. So we are not really speaking bothered about explaining the creation. Some explanations are given in every Upanishad or this thing because as a student your mind may be caught up in it. Because when everything is presented as non-dual, it's a natural doubt to come. Then what about this creation? How did it come about? Why did it come about? Etc. 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 So, depending upon where the student is, some explanation is given. One explanation is replaceable by another. Like here he says, Vibhutim prasavatvanyehe. Okay. This is just the vibhuti of Ishvara. Okay. Just the vibhuti. Just his glory. His exuberance. Yeah. मस्त राम होके बैठा था ना. Okay. Yes, मस्त राम Baba, you are sitting down quietly. Ishvara. Okay. Suddenly, chalo, let's have some fun. Okay. Vibhuti. That's why words in Bhagavatam, etc., you will use words like Leela, etc. Play. See, everything has a validity and everything has a problem. You tell somebody who is suffering is a play of the Lord. Bloody sadist, yaar. Play to cause me problems. Kya ye? Oh, then some explanation. Karma phala, ये सब कुछ देना पड़ता है. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Vibhuti prasavam tvanye manyante srishti chintakaha. Swapna maya sarupetihi. Srishtihi anye vikalpitaha. Anye vikalpitaha. Others presented as what? Swapna maya rupeti. Maya rupam, like your dream only. Correct. No? He says, samsara swapna tulyo hi ragadveshadi sankula. Full of ragadveshas. In your dream also you have ragadveshas. There are certain things you like, certain things you don't like. I mean, dream is your creation. Why didn't you make everything what you like only? Why do you need the same neighbor in your dream also? Either bas nahi ho gaya kya? At least in your dream world you could have left him out. Na? So some objects of raga, some object of desha. World is also the same, he says. Logically, prove to the dreamer that the world is more real. Logically, prove to the dreamer that the world is more real. He will not be able to. Continuity is there. Continuity is there in dream also. No, but here so many days, years, etc. we are living. Even in dream we live so many years, etc. No, but I know there is a dreamer. The dreamer doesn't even know you. So how do you logically prove? He is not saying the world is a dream, but swapna maya tulyaha, he says. Tulyaha, like that. Okay? Sarupeti. Sarupeti, meaning similar. Samyam rupamiti sarupa. Okay. Srishti anye vikalpita. This is more or less the Vedantic style. Okay? Yeah. Then other ideas. Ichha matram prabho srishti iti srishto vinishchitaha kala prasuti bhutana manyante kala chintaka. Ichha matram prabho srishti. प्रभु से इच्छा मात्र, उनका मन में क्या इच्छा था वही हो गया. You know, the stand people take. Why? Because you seem to be helpless in this world. Because the more the sense of helplessness is there, the more you will say it's all Lord. Like that old song I've been often quoting. एक झोले में फूल खिले हैं, दूसरे में तो कांटे, कुछ कारण होगा, कारण होगा. Up to here very logical. आपके बस में कुछ भी नहीं है, बांटने वाले बांटे. Nothing is in your hands. It all depends on his will. Try telling that guy who karma phala, etc. You're feeling like that. These type of bhajans are only meant to validate your feelings, not make a philosophy out of it. Because there are times in our life when everyone feels that bloody hell, nothing is going wrong, right here. Sab gadbadi hai. Why should I have to face all this? I am quietly doing my job. Why should somebody do something against me? होता है. I trusted the guy so much. Why is he betraying us? होता है. So that time it's good to sing this bhajan just to validate your feelings, not to make a philosophy out of it. Validate your feelings if you need to. I was just say रेवा दे finished हो गया का. Okay. So इच्छा मात्रम प्रभो सृष्टि इति सृष्टो विनिश्चितः. Some are very fun. Bas. There are songs also like that. Hey दुनिया बनाने वाले, क्या दुनिया बनाया? Now I don't go to many bhajan programs. Where have I heard all this? You travel by Bombay local trains, na? You will hear all of them. Sometimes very talented singers sing this. You know? For a couple of bucks that they hope the passengers will give them. You know? They are providing as entertainment. Na? It's not exactly begging. You're providing an entertainment. When you're traveling, 1 hour you're traveling by train, so entertainment. All this you will hear there. Okay. So, this is, look at it, when the very statement, there is a personalization of Ishvara. No? As we Ishvara is some entity sitting up in Timbuktu, creating this world. Ichha matra. Okay. Okay. Kalat prasuti bhutanam manyante kalachintakaha. Kalachintakaha. Those who are the calculators of time. Who are they? Astrologers, okay? Kalachintakaha. He says, Kalat prasuti bhutanam. Everything comes in time only, okay? When Shani is like that, this will happen. Rahu is like that, this will happen. Guru is like that, this will happen. So when will all the good things happen? We are going through Guru Dasha now, right? Good time. Hey, this is good time, my God. What will be my bad times? Kalat prasuti manyante kal. See, all of them, all these viewpoints are true from a certain point of view. There is some truth in it. It's not the whole truth. Not the whole truth. Karma, karmaphala, all that is revealed by astrology. There is some truth in it. But my grandfather, who was a great astrologer, would say, fools obey planets, wise men handle them. Yeah. Wise men handle them. Fools obey planets. Why, you will mechanically go through, abhi kya hai? 7:30 hai, kya karega abhi? You have to suffer only. Na? No, there's a lot of things you can do. 7:30 is meant for growth. Yeah, that struggle is meant for growth actually. So look at it now. Where is growth possible? What can you do to grow? What can you do to alleviate? What esoteric rites are available? Vedic rites, what is it available today? How can I handle my karma better? How can I go through my karma and grow from the whole thing? You are handling them. Or saying, मेरा नसीब साथ नहीं दिया, क्या करेगा? And sometimes you may just have to wait it out. Yeah, karma phala is also a viewpoint only. Once you take the validity of a jiva into account, then all the karma phala comes in. Karta bhokta itself is mithya. But you are saying functional validity is there. And then the whole thing comes into the picture. Only once you give it a functional validity can you bring in karma phala. So in astrology, what are you studying? Karma phala only. Your time according to the planets, which reveal your karma and karma phala. It is not that Saturn is creating a problem for you. Saturn is revealing that at this time you are supposed to have these issues. Therefore, now you invoke Ishvara as Shani Devata and worship. That's one way of handling it. Okay. But one secret when you are worshipping Shani, okay? Never ask, when is it enough? With Shani there is nothing like enough. Alam na vidyate. Alam na vidyate. So in astrology, when you do a ritual, let us say you are doing a ritual for Guru or Surya or something, then you can do a prashnam and check up. What I have done, is it enough? And the answer may come, no, something more necessary, or no, it is enough. For Shani, you will never check that. You will never check that. No good astrologer will ever check whether what you have done, your Shani Shanti, what you have done, is enough or not. Not supposed to. Because Shani is revealing karma phala, Baba, the problematic aspect of your karma. God, Shani is such a problematic issue. Then no. If Shani is in a good place, it can make you a king. It can make you an emperor. That's also there. All right. Therefore, kalat prasuti bhutana manyante kalachintaka. Now, all this I have been talking from the astrologer standpoint. Okay. भोगार्थं सृष्टिः इत्यन्ये क्रीडार्थम् इति चापरे देवस्य च स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामाय का स्पृहः भोगार्थं सृष्टिः इति अन्ये वर्ल्ड meant for our enjoyment और क्या this is an exploitative worldview, very aligned with the Western worldview. Everything is meant for exploitation. You have to exploit the whole thing. Why? अपना भोग के लिए. Go ye in the world and multiply. The world is created for your enjoyment. Go enjoy. Okay. भोगार्थम क्रीडार्थम इति चापरे. अरे बाबा, Lord created it out of play. It was just a play for him. Okay. Out of sheer play, out of sheer this thing, he did it. Okay. क्रीडार्थम. Okay. और देवस्य स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा. If you take Ishvara as a complete fulfilled being, aptakamaha, how can Ishvara have any desire? Desire for sport, desire for enjoyment, desire for this. कैसा हो सकता है? You ask Ishvara, did you create all this? Of course. Really? Not really. Not really. So it is like you can't attribute a real cause for the creation from Ishvara's standpoint. Because when you are having all these theories now, which is the right one? As I said, all of it are from a standpoint. So from Ishvara's standpoint, there is no why creation. How can you say why creation? Apta kamasya ka spraha. Ishvara is a limitless, infinite being, Ananda Sarupa. So how can he have a desire to do this or not do that? So from Ishvara's standpoint, actually speaking, there is no creation. There is no reason for creation. Creation is for the one who sees it. Even a person who knows the truth, he will say, where is the creation? Kidhar hai? All there is only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Aur kya? What is there is only that, really speaking. In between some play is going on. So, some stuff is going on either way. That's why an issue or a problem that seemed so real for you 3 months back, now what is it? In Hindi there is a nice expression for it. Raat gayi, baat gayi. Correct? Gone, it's over, done with. It is like those days when we used to always travel by train everywhere. Bombay to Kerala was 2 nights. Via Arkonam you had to go. Kadapa, Arkonam, etc. and then came to be 2 nights in the train. So you get friendly with the people who are sitting around. You share food, you share this, you share that. You talk about what you're doing, what they're doing, all that thing. Become bosom friends. You exchange addresses and numbers and everything. Because 2 nights you are spending together. You invested in each other's stories, this, that. After that, have any of us ever got in touch with any of the people we made friends on the train? Eh? How much does it matter? That time it mattered a lot. Want a modern example? A holiday romance. You connected up so well, this, that, exactly. Then you went back to your separate homes. You exchange numbers and everything, but it's okay, let it be there. It's okay, over and done with. How much has it really lasted? So if you are an Aptakama, even more. What are you talking about creation, etc.? What motivation can you give me to create? Tell me, what motivation can you give Ishvara to create? Ishvara does not have a motivation to create. No reason. From the individual standpoint, you can talk about a reason. Any reason makes sense only from the individual standpoint. Why? Hey, this is Earth, Baba. This is a tough school. You're supposed to learn and grow here. You're supposed to learn your lessons of life and grow. For that, the school necessarily has to be tough. You don't learn from an ambi-pambi school. What do you want to do? We'll do that today, you know. It doesn't work like that. You're sent here, there are lessons to be learned. The lessons you can learn on earth, you can learn only on earth. On this dimension. You can't learn anywhere else. That's why Kshine Punya Marta Lokam Vishanti. Once your punya is over, from any other dimension you come back to earth. You have to learn and grow and gain moksha here. Nowhere else. Moksha also you won't gain anywhere else. This knowledge also you won't gain anywhere else. There's a small little chance, a window in Brahmaloka. I don't think anybody in Kali Yuga will get into Brahmaloka. You cannot do all those rituals and things like that. You cannot. There's no way. Even Swarga, very few people will reach, I'm telling you. Those who have got Veera Gati, the soldiers, they will go to Veera Swarga. Yes. Those 5 people who died in the battle, they will go to Veera Swarga. Yes. Others, up to Pitraloka, etc., usse zyada kidhar jayega? Where is all the good karma that we have done? Peanuts. Really, how much have you done good karma? We helped a few people, thoda kuch puja paat kiya, aur kya kiya? What more have you done? Have you done anything more? Yeah. Pitraloka. That's all. Then back on earth, why? You have to learn and grow. Until you gain moksha, you will have to learn and grow. Therefore, from the individual standpoint, you can be given a reason. From Ishvara's standpoint, there is no reason. Forget it. Because why am I saying learn and grow? Because all are born, all are going to die. These two things are definite. Jatasya dhruvo mrityu. One who is born has to die. Correct? Ready or not, when your time is up, your time is up. Yeah. There is no getting delayed there for death. We say ना, there's an expression in Hindi, अरे इतना काम है मरने को भी फुर्सत नहीं है. I have so much things to do that there is no time for me to die also. Don't worry. When death comes calling, there's all the time in the world for death. There is time for that. That is definite. But that cannot be a purpose of your life. No? If the purpose of your life is to die, then why were you born? Before being born, you were in the same condition. So before you die, you grow, no? So grow physically, emotionally. Physically, you stop growing after some time, 18, 19, 20, whatever. After that, what? All emotional growth, intellectual growth. So grow. How far? What is the limit? Moksha. By Atma Jnanam. So go. There is a purpose there. There is a purpose in the whole thing. If you take that out, what is the purpose? Purpose kya hai yaar? Existential issues, there is no real purpose. If you are an existentialist philosopher, okay, and the existential philosophy is the highest available in therapy, okay. That's why I say therapy can help, but it does not work all the way. Existential, there is no real purpose. You are born, you die. I mean, what's the purpose? You create whatever purpose you want in your life. That's pathetic. Yeah, in the existential philosophy, that's what it is. There's no solution to the problem of purposelessness, of isolation, of loneliness. There's no solution, there's only management. That's why therapy is about managing certain things, and at that level it is good. Because before you can go further, you have to learn to manage all those things. You have to learn to manage your life before you can get freedom from the life itself. So to get freedom from the life itself, manage it first. Then see where you are headed. So that is why growth, etc. becomes important. Okay. So from the individual level, purpose, total level, you get all these theories. Use whatever works for you. Okay. If creation is bugging you, use whatever works for you. Okay. Now, we had done, he had said, Soyam Atma Chatushpad. Omkara has 4 quarters. 3 quarters he had said. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. What is the 4th? Okay. What is the 4th? Sometimes I must shamelessly repeat certain things, okay, so that it goes into people's mind very well. What he is presenting in the next verse is that really speaking, the 4th is the one. It is not really the 4th. This is very often misinterpreted in modern thinking, modern Vedanta, and yoga as well. Because the 3 are presented as states of experience, the 4th is also taken as a state of experience. First mistake. Even if you are taking 3 states of consciousness, you will take this as the 4th state of consciousness. Either way, same mistake will happen. Okay. That's why I always give that old example. Coming back from Rishikesh after a few years there, taking a cab home from Dadar. Dadar hai na, Dadar. अपना डाडर ईस्ट, देखा उधर पारसी से डाडर ईस्ट से पारसी कॉलोनी है ना, डाडर ईस्ट में, हाँ उधर से कैब लिया, तो क्या कैब, एक पोस्टर, इंस्पेक्टर विजय, भैया आजकल इंस्पेक्टर के लिए भी पोस्टर लगाते हैं. So the cab driver looked at me, smiled, and he kept driving. And I asked him, ये विजय इनका नाम है क्या? नहीं बाबा, वो तो अमिताभ बच्चन है. अच्छा, अमिताभ बच्चन. Maybe he's called Vijay because he's victorious all the time. Okay, Vijay. अभी मैं ऋषिकेश थिंकिंग है, क्या करेगा. He goes further. Okay. Dawn. अरे वो कौन है? He looks familiar. अरे वो भी अमिताभ बच्चन है. अरे अमिताभ बच्चन पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर है, डॉन भी हो सकता है, बॉम्बे मायापुरी है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. And somewhere else, minister. वो कौन? अरे वो भी अमिताभ बच्चन है. ये सब 3 अमिताभ बच्चन कैसे हो सकता है? अरे महाराज जी आप कहाँ से आया? अरे हम तो ऋषिकेश से आया. क्या? अच्छा, ये कम फ्रॉम ऋषिकेश. अभी तो समझ गया. अरे बाबा जी वो सब नकली है, असली ये है. एंड ही शोज मी अ 4th photograph. This is the real one. Why all the 3 are dependent on the 4th. So is it really the 4th? It is the one. It is not the 4th. Called Turiyam, called the 4th with respect to the 3, but really speaking, it is the one. Why 3 are mithyas? All the 3, waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, dependent on I, the consciousness. I, the consciousness, independent of the 3. With respect to the 3, it looks as the 4th, but really speaking, it is the one. Why? 3 तो नकली है, ये असली है. The 3 are false, mithya. This is the real one. So highlighting that in the 7th verse of the Upanishad now, okay? 7th verse of the Upanishad. We saw the 9th verse of the Karika and we are going back to the 7th verse of the Upanishad. He says, Nanta prajnam na bahish prajnam, no bhayata prajnam na prajnana ghanam, na prajnam na aprajnam, adrishtam avyavaharyam, agrahyam alakshanam, अचिंत्यम अव्यपदेश्यम एकात्म प्रत्यासारम प्रपंचोपशमम शांतम शिवम अद्वैतम चतुर्थम मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. चतुर्थम मन्यन्ते इति. It is talked about as the 4th. It is not the 4th. Why? स एकः स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. This is the real Atma. This is the Vijnaya. That means what? I play 3 roles in life. The totality of all my experiences. 3 roles. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. In waking and dream, there are multiple roles coming in between. But one total role, waker. One catch-all role, dreamer. And deep sleeper. The 3 roles are dependent on I, the consciousness. I, the consciousness, independent of the 3. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, mutually exclusive. What ties them all through? I, the consciousness. So I, the consciousness, gets a new name, Avastha Traya Sakshi, the witnesser of the 3 states of experience. This much is implicit in your experience, isn't it? If you are a good thinker, you sit down and think. You will understand waker, dreamer, deep sleeper are mutually exclusive. At the same time, something is connecting all the 3. So what is the one that is connecting all the 3? I, who is witnessing all the 3. So up to Avasthatraya Sakshi, a good thinker can come up on his own. Rare, but can. Especially if you do some awareness exercise, etc., you can definitely come up to it. Yeah. Itna to ho sakta. More than that, you require the Upanishad. Here is where the Upanishad really comes in. He says, Na anta prajnam. What is the consciousness? Na anta prajnam. Not the prajna, the consciousness focused inside. Not the dreamer, in other words. Na bahish prajnam. Not the consciousness focused outside. Therefore, not the waker. Na ubhayata prajnam. Sometimes you have in-between states. Na? You are dreaming, you know you are dreaming, but you can't stop it or change it. होता है ना? Ubhayata prajnam. In-between state. Na prajnana ghanam. Not a mass of consciousness, like in deep sleep. Therefore, not the deep sleeper also. Na prajnam, na aprajnam. Not a state where you are gaining knowledge, nor a state of complete ignorance. Again, emphasis. Waking dream. Waking and sleeping. Na prajnam. Then what is it? Adrishtam. That which cannot be seen. That which cannot be seen. Avyavaharyam. Not available for any transactions. But Swamiji, what about karma, karma phala? For the ahankara, for the jiva, for the karta bhokta, not for me, the consciousness. Because the karta bhokta is objectified by me, the consciousness. Therefore, adrishtam avyavaharyam. Agrahyam, cannot be grasped physically or otherwise. Alakshanam, cannot be pointed out. Why? It's not something other than you to be pointed out. Alakshanam. Or cannot be defined. Cannot be defined. Okay. Achintyam, not an object of your thought. Okay, not an object of your no. Avyapadesham, cannot be described. ऐसा रहेगा तो पता कैसा लगेगा? How will you know it? If by this all these descriptions up to know, how will you ever know? Alaksham, पता कैसा लगेगा? Because ekatma pratyasaram, aham pratyasaram, he says. Na atma ekantena vishaya asmat pratya vishayatvad. Those who are coming for the Sunday class, याद है किधर आया? Yeah. Ekatma pratyasaram. That Atma is never not totally unknown to you because it is known as the essence of I, as the content of the word I. You don't know you are Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, but you know I am there, I exist. Nobody doubts their own existence. Prapancho Upashamam, the resolving point of the whole prapancha, of waking, dream and deep sleeper, was the resolving point. I, the consciousness at the individual level, total level, prapancha upashamam, the entire world resolved into the consciousness. Shantam, that which is absolute peace, not an experiential peace, but in peace in spite of all thinking, etc. Shantam. Shivam, moksha swarupam. Shivam means Mangala Swarupam, Moksha Swarupam. Advaitam, non-dual. Not fourth, cannot be divided. Then why did you say it's Chatushpat? From the standpoint of the three, but the three are not real. First I have divided it, then I am dismissing the division. I am dismissing the division. Advaitam, Chaturtam Manyante, held as a fourth, talked about as the fourth. Ajnana Dashayam. No. In July I am going for the yoga festival. Other questions आ जाएगा ऐसा. How do you get into Turiya? After all, yogis, na? I mean, the better ones ask this question. Others are satisfied by twisting their body and holding their breath. उसमें satisfied हो जाते हैं. And I always tell them, okay, you are supposed to bend your body and stretch your mind. Huh? How is that? अभी होता है. Bend your body and stretch the mind. Okay. Okay. Chaturtam manyate. Sa atmaha, that is you. Savijnaya, that is the thing, that is one to be known. Sa Atma Savijnaya. So all this talk of Omkara was for what? You understand this? So what he has done? Get it? First he described you with respect to all your experiences. Correct? Then if you look at this verse, every experience based judgment of you is being dismissed. From the all our self judgments come from our experiences. When you say, no, I am an assertive person, I can speak my mind anytime I want. What are you talking about on the basis of? Your experience. Okay. Yeah, I am too submissive, or I can't be assertive. What are you talking about? From your experience. No, I am a competent person. What are you talking about? From what you have done. You have not faced a field of activity which you don't know anything about. And which is very tough for you to learn. वो भी रहना चाहिए थोड़ा. There are always field of activity like that. So, all your self judgments, which are taking yourself as a finite being, are based on all these experiences. So now he goes global. The whole waking experience, the whole dream experience also. And your deep sleep experience. Sab le lo sab. Don't leave anything out. Because when you say, I experience the world, what are you talking about? All this, no? Really speaking, all this. No? But Sabaji, we don't take dreams seriously. You don't take dreams seriously. You know how many people make money on dream analysis? What do your dreams mean? I am not bothered about what my physical experiences mean. You are talking about my dreams. Kya baat hai? But there, I am getting this recurring dream. If you are getting a recurring dream, there is a message from your mind. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me a message. For the universe, you don't matter. Look at the night sky. What you can see. Okay. There are thousands of galaxies out there in what you see. You think that universe, you matter? Earth is a speck not worth considering. Earth is like one of those dots there. How does it matter? Your mind is sending you a message, okay. But you are taking all your experience together. And the experience and the experiencer both are being negated. This verse, what is it doing? It's negating the experience and the experience. Na anta prajnam, na bhavish prajnam, na ubhayata prajnam, na aprajnam, na prajnam, na prajnana ghanam. Everything is negated. From you. You, the consciousness, manifests in all this, no? Sab negated. Everything is negated. What is left? Ekatma pratyasaram. That I that you talked about, na? I am like this, like this, like this, that I, the essence of that I. Shantam Shivam Advaitam. That is Shantam Shivam Advaitam. Savijnaya, say Ekaha Savijnaya. Chaturtam Manyanti. What you talked about is the fourth. What people are talking about is the fourth. Yeah. It is not the fourth, that is a one. Not a fourth state of consciousness, not a fourth state of experience. It is I. It's a state of recognition, if at all you want to call it a state. Is it a separate state of recognition? No, in the waking alone. It's something to be recognized. Why? Because all that you experience, etc., has been negated. All your self-judgment based on the experience have been negated. When you're saying na bahishprajnam includes what? Oh, the experience of the world. Not experience of the world alone. Your self-judgment based on the experience also. That is a bigger issue. I am like this only. Why am I like this only? Both. I am like this only. As it is, why am I like this? Both are negated. Both are negated. Yeah. Your dream, meaning your subjective world. And for many people, what the subjective world is more important than the objective world, isn't it? Like this lady was talking about how traumatic her visit to her son and daughter-in-law was. They have two big dogs. And they're telling the dog won't harm you, nothing. The dog is very friendly. See, pat it. But I am scared of dogs. So I said, you lived there for a month. You didn't try to get over your fear. 1 month you are living with two dogs. You should get over the fear. No, I got them to lock up the dogs. You are a person for whom the subjective world means much more than the objective world. So you are going to manipulate the whole world to your convenience or what? That's what people try. It doesn't work. You'll bump into reality all the time. If you're living in your mind, you'll keep bumping into the physical reality all the time. They'll challenge your thinking. Then I'll start cribbing and complaining about the world. और क्या करेगा? What else you do? Because for you, subjective reality is more important. Hey, subjective reality, objective reality, both has its place. Both has its place. And you are making a self-judgment based on both. Problem. So negate it. You are not that. Why? Simple argument, you are the witnesser of that. That's why that avasthatraya sakshi becomes important. Because we are using the fact that you are avasthatraya sakshi to negate. That you are the witnesser of all of them. That you are aware of all of them. They are all drishyam natu drik. All objects of your awareness. Not the seer eye. But I have made self-judgment based on what I have seen. I have made self-judgments about myself based on what object I am aware of. We do it all the time. No? I dress in a particular way. Why? Because I want to be validated for that. And there is one place where your life is perfect. Social media. Facebook, Twitter, etc. Life is perfect there. Whereas some of my friends ask me, you have a life or something, you don't post anything. Only some talk, this, that, etc. you post. I said, that's all I meant to post. I am not meant to post what I had for breakfast today. If you go on a holiday, I don't go on a holiday, I only go out and work. For me, because for me life is one long holiday anyway. But in all this there are self-judgments. Negate the whole thing. Shantam Shivam Advaitam, that's it. Ekatma Pratyaya Sara. Sa Atma Sa Vijnaya. This is the real you. Know that, he says. Understand that. The one who is aware of all this. The one that makes the three whole. Therefore the one. Therefore, from I, all my self-judgment experience based on experiences and the experience is negated. I am assertive, I am confrontative, I am aggressive, I am submissive. That attachment. I am successful, not successful, complete and incomplete. All those judgments negated. Then I am not there. मैं हूँ ना, एकात्म प्रत्यसार. I am there very much there. Shantam Shivam Advaitam. Pratyasaram. Ekatma Atma Pratya. Atma Pratya is the thought of I. Tasya Saram, the essence of that I. Essence of the I thought. The content of the I thought. That is I, the consciousness. I, the consciousness, manifest in your mind, is manifest as the first I thought. Ekatma Pratyaya. Tasya Saram, the content. So this is all there is there. बस ये बात है. उपनिषद हो गया. With this was literally the Upanishad is over. Okay. Yeah. So think about it. This is a very, very, in fact, the most important verse in the whole Upanishad is this. Okay. Spend some time thinking on it. And next class, if there is anything more, we will check it out. There are a few things, nuances I want to talk about. But I send the holistic picture. And anything else? Any questions? All that we will clarify next time. Okay. Om Tat Sat.